Okay. All right, so I remembered to record a video, so that's great. All right, so I am going to, I think just for the sake of muting everybody, although everybody looks like they're muted, so I'm not even going to take that step. All right, so I'm going to go to my share screen and I'm going to show you to start what we're going to be looking at, what we're going to be learning how to do. So there's two things that, so this is a little bit different because this is the offices page right here. But one of the things that I'm encouraging everyone to do is to create a page, a custom page, and I'll show you what it looks like on an agent website. That is about either your ability to work virtually or online open houses. And so you can see that you can embed videos, so they're just available right on your page. These are all links, so you can link text or photos to websites outside of howardhanna.com. So if I were to click on this, this would actually take us to the live open house on his Facebook page. And if I would click onto this, it would take us to Sarah's Facebook page. So, you know, from an office perspective, it's a little bit different. But here's another example of what we'll be sort of going over. So this is the way an agent page looks. And this is a custom page. And let me see if I can get rid of this bar of your pictures. Get over here maybe. All right. So everyone knows that you have this ability up here to have whatever pages you want. I'm sure that there is a finite number of pages that you're allowed to have. I have 6 right now. So 6 is at least what you can have. When you click onto any of the links, it takes you to a page that you've created. So this is an agent page. So this is what your page would look like. You can embed photos. You can put whatever text you want. You could embed video actually that will just play either directly in your page or it will take you to another website. So those are the things that we're going to sort of be able to walk away with today, is adding the links, adding photos, and actually creating the page. So the first thing, or before we get to all of that, I want to show you one thing that I think a lot of people know how to do, but if you don't, you have to know how to do this. If the goal is to share your Facebook Lives or your virtual open houses, this is something that you need to know how to do. So assuming that you are broadcasting your Facebook Live on your business page, you would go to your business page, and this works on a live that you do it on your personal page as well. The easiest place to find your videos, because I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of garbage before you get to anything on Facebook. So just click on this thing that says videos, and it'll take you to all of your videos. So I am going to download this Matterport camera virtual tour, and we'll use it as an example, I believe. So I've opened it up. This is not really me, believe it or not. I am, however, wearing the same sweater right now.
And so this was filmed using the Matterport.
So this like I explained in the video, this was just a screenshot capture video using a current Matterport tour that we had, and I used it as an online virtual tour. But my goal is to take this video and to upload it onto my website. So you'll want to go to you'll open the post, go to where the date is. And so it'll either have the date, it'll have 6 hours ago, here it has about a week ago. Click onto that. And if nothing opens, then you're where you need to be. And then the 3 buttons over here, click on download video. And so this is how you're going to sort of scrape all of your Facebook Live content and make it uploadable other places. So that's sort of a basic that you need to know how to do before we go ahead and do anything else. The second part of the basic that you need to know how to do is, and I don't have this open and I'm sorry, is you need to be able to upload it to YouTube. So obviously very simple. I'm going to just upload something to YouTube because I need something to embed, to show you guys how to embed. So I went to that's the offices page currently with my picture on it for some reason. And then I'm just going to upload that video that I just downloaded. A lot of this has my face on it. I'm not too crazy about that. So then you'll give it a title. You know, for this one, we're just going to go with the Matterport walkthrough of Lakewood Beauty. You're going to see that I don't know how to spell. And then I would put a description on here. You do have to scroll down and say it's not necessarily for kids. I don't think that either of those answers is right or wrong. And then basically just publish the video. I'm going to set it to be public just because I'm trying to also develop my Facebook page as well. But if you wanted it to be unlisted or private, you could do that and it wouldn't show up on YouTube anywhere, but you would still be able to embed it into the video. So I'm just going to hit publish. And obviously I would make that a little bit more thorough in its description. So as that processes, we'll go back to what I want to do with that. I would like to embed that on a custom page, something like this, where if I click on this, it's going to take me to a Matterport tour of a home. The other places that you can do it, you can use that video is, let me jump over to a different browser now. Okay. So everyone's familiar with the admin dashboard for howardhanna.com. This is where we're going to be working on your personal websites and profiles. Mine's a little bit different because it's got all of the office information, but yours should look pretty similar to it. If you want to add that video that you just uploaded to YouTube as an additional virtual tour on howardhanna.com and the MLS, you can do that. So the way you do it on howardhanna.com is you click on property right here and go to property maintenance, and then we'll find the property. So I'm gonna, Claire, I don't know if Claire's on here. I think you are. I'm gonna put it on right now, but if you want me to take it off, I will take it off. So your properties will just be here. You won't have to do that step. So this bar is in my way. So that Matterport tour was for this Lakewood Heights Boulevard property. So if I wanted to add it, I'm gonna go over here and click these little buttons. And then I'm gonna go to where it says virtual tours, open that up. And I do need to have the link.
I can't see where you're pointing to.
Okay, I'll try to, I don't know if there's a.
Now it's going. Now it's going.
Okay, let me check the chat too. Keith, can you see it now? Because my screen hasn't locked up.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to close this processing and I'm just going to grab the link, what I need from this video. So I would just copy this link right here, and this is the video link. And then I'm going to go back to that property maintenance page, and I'm going to add a new tour, paste that link into it. And now you've got a second virtual tour that's on howardhanna.com. And so that could be anything. That could be a live open house. That can be just a video that you made in a controlled setting where you're walking around and doing a tour. It could be a video that a professional's made and put together for you. We've seen some good videos that are a combination of sort of hosted and pictures. So, you know, that's something that you can just do on iMovie. You can do it on Animoto. I believe you could probably do it on Ripple as well. And then to do it on the MLS, I'm not going to go there, but it's the same thing. If you go to the virtual tours, you just hit add another tour and you add that link. And so now you have a second sort of way for a buyer to view the property. I will say on the MLS, if you're going to add this second tour, like a live tour, you might want to remove the link for the property panorama tour, because without doing that, then you're going to have 3 tours up there, which the property panorama tour, as we all know, is what? It's worthless, right? It's still pictures set to bad music. So there's no reason to sort of, if someone is going to click onto something to get more information, let's take away that bad option and leave them with either just your video walkthrough or your video walkthrough and your Matterport tour, if you have that. All right, so I'm gonna just jump back over here to what we're looking to do. So again, we're looking to figure out, how do we create this? How do we create a custom page that either has embedded pictures, embedded video, or has links to other places? And so it's not very hard. The first couple of times that you do it, it might be a little bit challenging, because it can still be challenging to me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, dummy, now I've figured out what I'm doing wrong. So the first piece of advice that I can give you is if whenever you go to GoHanna and you click on this website admin button, if it asks you to log in, you're on the wrong browser. That's like your first sign. Don't even keep trying. Don't try to log in. That is not, you're just not on a browser that's compatible with the web admin background or web admin dashboard. So if it asks you to log in, you're probably on maybe Safari and you need to jump onto Chrome, or you're on Chrome and you need to jump onto Safari, or you need to go to Internet Explorer. I think it's not very compatible with Chrome, if I recall, because I actually have it open on Safari right now. So if it asks you to log in, just change browsers. If you go to a different browser and it asks you to log in, you might want to just come back in 15 to 20 minutes. This is a third-party thing, so occasionally the software is being updated. So don't bang your head against the wall and keep trying to log in if you've tried a couple of different browsers. All right, so you would click on the website administration, and it's not fair if you guys send me text messages while I'm doing this, by the way. It's not nice. So we're going to create a content page. So under content, click on here. And again, you will only have some options. You won't have the office. You won't, I'm not sure if you have team, but let's focus on the agent content page. So we'll click onto that. Claire, is your screen share moving now? Where is it, what is it stuck on right now?
It's still stuck
Liquid
on
Office
the
page.
Office Ohio page.
Okay. So it's over here. All right, I'm gonna just close this. Oh, you know why? Actually, hold on one second. I have to, let me share something different. I was just sharing that browser. Okay, this should, I forgot you can't jump from browser to browser. So everyone can see that now, right?
Can you go back on how you got there?
So when you're on GoHanna, you're going to get to this through website administration. When you click onto that, your website dashboard will open up. Your website dashboard is going to look a little bit different than mine. It'll be a little bit more condensed and smaller. So I will show you again how we added that virtual tour, since you probably didn't see that. I didn't realize that I was on a different browser. So you go to the property, go to property maintenance, find your property. And when you want to add the video, you're going to click the arrow, go to virtual tours, and then copy and paste that link from YouTube right here. You'll add a new tour and then you'll copy and paste it. So now you've got the 2 videos on Howard Hanna. Do I need to show anything from that again? I didn't realize that screen wasn't being shared.
I have a question. The property panorama that you said, if we're going to upload these virtual tours, how do you delete that property panorama from MLS?
I'll go to the MLS here. It'll just take me a second to log on. It's basically just an Xing it out.
Okay.
But I can go on this browser, so. So it's something that you, I believe that you as an agent can do even if you don't have input privileges, or even if you haven't taken the class. I believe this is something that you can do. So you can see, you just go to the property, go to manage virtual tours. If you don't have this, then obviously Karen or Maggie would have to do it. Oh, you can't take the property panorama off here. I'm sorry. You can take it off of the Howard Hanna website. And so now all 3 of those are on your website. You can take it off of howardhanna.com though. Because I did that with, I remember when I did errands, I did take it off. Okay, so that's how you would add it to the MLS. It's also how you would add a Matterport tour to the MLS. Let me close a couple of these. All right, so now can I move on to creating the custom page? Okay. I can't really see the chat real well in this, so if anybody has, oh, there we go. Hold on, I do have a question in the chat. It wasn't so much a question. Ted. Okay, so this is how we're going to create a custom page. You go under content, and everyone can see this, I'm assuming. If you can't, please scream real loud. Agent content pages is where you're going to be. I don't know exactly how it looks on your page. I'm just going to go to mine because I don't want to mess with anybody's. And so most likely you're not going to have this many because you haven't created any custom pages. You're going to have your about me, and you're going to have my listings, my reviews, my sales, you know, those standard things, but you're not going to have all of these. You know, you don't really want to mess around too much with some of these because they are static, like my listings, my sales, but we know that we can customize about me, and we know that we can create a page. So to create a page, up here in the right-hand corner, there's a button that says add a new page. You can click that. And this is where we're starting from scratch. This information is very important because it is your page title, and it's also what's going to come up as the description. So if somebody were to Google this and find it, you know how it has that little paragraph next to the page that they can click on. This is where that information comes. You don't want it to be a list of words. That used to be sort of a web optimization technique where underneath this description, it would say home buyer, home seller, Cleveland realtor, Northeast Ohio realtor, you know, market share. All of the search engines have stopped identifying those like just words. What they want you to do is have a cohesive sentence that has as many of those words as possible. So you do need to create a page title, and the page title is something that the public will see. So very important to know that, because whenever you have howardhanna.com/virtual homes is the page title that we're creating right now. So this is where your backsplash is all going to come in. So I am going to, after I create this today, I'm going to actually take this down. So don't worry about any spelling errors on it or anything that looks a little bit weird. And then you're going to need to actually re-put your virtual tours in right here after the backsplash. So here we're going to just put virtual tours. And you can see I eliminated the brackets, and there's no space in between the words. So it just needs to all be what's going to end up on the back of the backsplash. The metadata page title, I have not played around with this. So I'm just going to put in Chris Mary's virtual tours. And then this description is where you want this full sentence to be. You, Northeast Ohio, home from the comfort of your couch. Chris Mary is the leading realtor in innovation and I don't know what, technology. Those aren't great keywords, you know, but I would want to have open houses in there, virtual tours, first-time buyers, things like that. Now let me move this again because it keeps being where I need to be. So you'll see at the bottom here, there in the right-hand corner, there is a button that says save. Obviously, we're going to save. And it's going to take us back to the dashboard again. So now that I'm at the dashboard, this thing that I just created should be on my list here. And here it is, virtual tours down here. If I hit edit, it's going to take me back to the page that we were just at. So if I wanted to change anything, I didn't like my title, I didn't like my description for Google, this is where I would change that. I'm just gonna leave that right now. And you can see when you're on a manager's page, it's kind of frustrating because it keeps taking you back to the very beginning. When you're on your page, you should just kind of come back to this page. But so now I want to create the content for this page. So this is where you hit view and edit content. And what's going to pop up is the actual page. So with the web designer that we have, you're actually doing all of your editing and creating on the page where it's going to be. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They get here and they're like, what do I do? Because you don't know that you're supposed to go into this box and click it active. And then what pops up, you can see, is sort of like a publisher toolbar. And you know, I'm sure everyone is already familiar with just about everything that's on this toolbar. So you've got your font types, your text, direction, bullets, numbers, indentations, color, highlight. You've got your hyperlink, inserting a picture. I've never used the subscript, so I don't really know how to do that. Putting a table in, and this is embedding a video in there. So this is really nice because it's so easy to use. Once you get past what we just did, that is the hardest part of doing this. It's literally just finding how to get here. And then you are creating everything right in here. Just like you would do on a publisher document, you are making it bigger, you're making it bolder, you're underlining it. You can use their sort of like, this is your heading size that it should be, and then your text size, or you can just do your own and say, this is how big I want it to be. I'm gonna go back to their heading size though. I think that you can actually, all right, so then I would take this and I would center it, and now let's put a picture underneath it. Because putting the picture underneath it is something that if you have not done this on your About Me page, you want to have something like this on your About Me page. Your About Me page should not just be a bunch of words. It should be your photos. It can be videos. So I am going to insert a picture that I already have on here, right? I just want to pick something that's, so here's a picture of my family. So now that goes right there. I'm going to give you some advice on the sizes of pictures. So from here to this side over here, if you can see it, it's 1800 pixels wide. And the reason that's important is because when you go to Canva, let's say, to create a picture, you want to make sure that you are creating a picture that's the right size. So you can't necessarily just take a picture off of your cell phone and load it up in. You might be able to, it might work, but there's a real good chance that it won't work. It's either going to be too large, it's not going to be the right size, or it's not going to be the right format. So I'm going to stop this share just for a second, and I'm going to go back to Chrome. That's where I have, Canva open. All right, so here we are on Chrome. I gotta. So we'll go into Canva. So if you're having problems getting pictures in, it's probably because they're not the right format or they're not the right size. So this is a picture right here that I just put together to help an agent out yesterday. So this is 1800 by 500 pixels wide. So you can go into Canva and create a custom dimension photo. And then for this one, I actually just came in and I popped in this template right here to do 3 pictures across. And so if this was for your website, this could be you, this could be your dog, this could be your family, whatever you want. And the way that that's going to come up, I don't know how to get rid of something up here. Hold on a second. Hide floating meeting controls. There we go. The way that that's going to come up is, let's go to the About Me page. It's going to come up something like this, but it's only going to be the 3 pictures. So another thing that you might want to incorporate into either your custom pages or your About Me pages are some graphics just to break up the text as well. And so this is that same graphic. And so this one, I believe, was 1800 by 300 pixels. So what's important to know here is that 1800 pixels is the width of this. So if you're coming over here and creating a design from custom dimensions, you want it to be 1800 pixels wide, and then the height depends on what you're putting in there, right? So the 500 worked for this in scale, but if you had pictures that were profile pictures, you might want to make it 1800 by 1000 or something like that. So you might have to play around a little bit with that just to see what fits. But just knowing that 1800 is a really good thing, trust me. All right, now I got to figure out how to get back to, hold on. Back to meeting, there we go. I collapsed a bar. I don't know what I did. Hold on one second. I don't know if you guys can see all these things on my screen. Okay. Well, see, now I've done something I've never done before and I don't know how to undo it. I don't know how to get back to the other screen. Back to meeting. Bear with me here, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what I've done. I like literally cannot get back to this.
I'm listening to something. I'm listening. Yeah. No, yeah, but I'm listening to a webinar.
Hold on. Like I literally cannot get back to this.
No. There's so many different stupid things going on for my work all day long. I could be doing different, things.
Hey, Mary,
So.
we can hear you.
Good.
Hold on one second. I am having a problem getting back.
Well, maybe I could get you some tech advice here because I'm sitting in the
Right?
dining
I'm
room
like,
with
I collapsed this
with
toolbar and like I literally cannot get it back right now. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Hold on one second. I really don't know what I did.
And I appreciate the work that you're doing, Chris.
Nice recovery.
Yes.
All right.
I'm trying to sew things while I'm watching you create.
Oh, here, hold on. Let me see if this, there we go. I figured out how to get the toolbar back. All right, let's see here. Okay, I think, oh, there we go. Yay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so now we're gonna jump back onto Safari, but I'm gonna have to open up again because I panicked. Nobody said this would be smooth. Okay, there we are. Okay, so can you guys see the Safari screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, now that I muted myself, I unmuted myself.
All right, so we're going to go back into website administration. I'm going to go back to content, to agent content pages. And I'm going to go back to me, even though you won't have this step. And virtual tours, and I'm going to view edit content. And this is where, okay, this is actually good because I might have forgotten to tell you. If you don't save your progress does not get saved. And I know that sounds like a silly, obvious point, but it is something that I have done more than once where I've got all of this set up and then all of a sudden, you know, I navigated away from it and I never saved it. So make sure that you are saving your progress often. And the way that you do that is there's a button right here that says save content. So I'm going to hit it right now. And you can see down here in the bottom right where it says that it's saved. That is super important. The other thing I want to encourage you is if you write something and it's amazing, right? Like your words flowed, you totally nailed it, copy and paste it and put it somewhere else before you hit save in the event that this save button doesn't work. Doesn't happen very often, but this is just a computer. It's just a web browser. And the worst thing that could happen is you have it be completely perfect and it doesn't save and you have to start all over again. So once you hit save, and that's actually, before we do publish or anything, I want to embed some stuff. So I'm going to put this picture in again. I'm going to pick this banner that I had. I'll put that in. Oops. So I put that banner in. I would put some more words underneath here. Words, 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 right? And then below it, maybe I want to do something that is bullet points. And then below this, I want to actually have a video that I have hosted on YouTube. So I'm going to go up here to where these little arrows are, and this is the embed function. Click on that. You don't want to mess with anything that's already there, right? That is the coding for what you've already created. You can see that it says what I've typed: virtual tours, words, 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 best realtor ever. So take your browser or take your blinker, whatever, cursor, your blinky, and go below everything that's already there. And so what you're gonna do now is embed a video. I'm gonna try to log on to this just so I don't have to change browsers again. I don't really know my login information. Let's see if it's saved on my computer though. No, it's not. All right, so I'm going to embed some good news with John Krasinski. So you can embed any video off of Facebook, right? You can embed something from Howard Hanna's Facebook page. You can embed something from a financial website, like a video that's been put out, or you could embed a video that you've made. And so what you want to do is go to where it says share right here, right? And it's got the embed code. So click on the embed button and it's going to give you all of the code. I'm just going to copy this and it's going to copy the whole thing. You could start this video, if there was a highlight of this video that started at 35 seconds in, you could actually start the video on your page at 35 seconds in. So this is something that I've seen people use with the Sunday Showcase of Homes, where they'll start the video where their house starts on the TV program, because that whole TV program is also hosted on YouTube. So I'm going to copy this embed verbiage. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then I'm going to go back to where we were. And I'm just going to paste it in. Then I'll hit update. And you can see that that video is now embedded on my custom web page. You can embed on your About Me. You can embed anywhere on your page. So now, let's say I'm done. Remember, I want to hit Save Content. very important to see this saved. When I do this, I hit save content like 15 times because now I can see over here on the bottom right that it says save, 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 save. But now you've just saved it. None of this is active. None of this is public facing. There's 2 more things that you need to do. The first thing is you have to come up here and activate the page if this is a brand new page. So since this is a brand new page, I actually have to activate that page. Okay, now it's an active page. But now I have to also publish all of the changes that I just made. So I'm going to hit publish page. You can see that it's doing it. But I'm going to go to the live version of the page. Well, I don't know if this will work because it won't work because I'm a manager. If you were to do this, there would be nothing there because at this point it gets sent to your manager for approval. And I was an incredibly annoying agent, and I would do all of this and I would immediately send Mark a text message that says, Mark, I just made changes on just made a new page. I need you to approve it. And he would be like, okay, I'll approve it. Know that if you want to get it done right away, you would have to contact us right away because we get a email from it, but it's generally not until later that day or maybe even until the next day. And even then that email is not the most prominent email that we get. So it just sort of gets skipped. So if you have changes that need to be made, and I can speak for my office, it's okay to text me and ask me to publish them because you know that for a long time, they could sit, it's possible that they could sit there. Because I'm a manager, it does just publish. When it comes to the manager, we get to look at it, make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to look, that there's nothing that's a compliance violation, and then we approve it, and then it auto publishes. One thing I have not figured out how to do yet is you see how this video is not centered in the middle of the page? I have not figured out how to do it. You would think that it's as simple as putting the cursor here and hitting the center button, and that does not seem to work. So all of my embedded videos currently kind of lean. They list a little, they list to the left. So if anyone can figure out how to make that change, that is all right with me. All right, so I'm gonna stop this share right now. And I want to ask you, do you have any questions at this point? Because I've shown you how to download from Facebook. I've shown you how to upload to YouTube. You know how to post on the MLS and Howard Hanna's site. And now you can create and edit a custom web page. Who's got questions?
I don't have a question necessarily, Chris, but I think I know how you can center your video.
Okay.
If you go to your text and you center your text, just so you can see how that embedded is in that part that you showed, you should be able to copy that part where it's centered, and then you can put your text back and then put the centered piece before the video. Does that make sense? Yeah,
it does actually. So I would be taking out the text and replacing it with the embed code.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot because I thought, you really should just be able to put the cursor before it and hit center, right? But I mean, it doesn't bother me enough that it's been driving me crazy, but I would like it to be centered. So, and if I look on one of my previous ones that I created, the video is centered, so it's possible. I just, Yeah. All right, any other questions? Really? Who's going to do this?
I am.
There's no reason not to. I mean, this is something that I believe in, and you can see based on the number of custom pages that I already had created, this isn't something where I'm like, pull this tool out now. I've always thought that this is pretty valuable. When I teach Fast Start, I talk about these. And it's not just about this whole idea of working virtually right now, but that's what applies. Like that's the page that you could be creating to talk about it. Sarah, I know you created that page. But let's say, I'm looking at who's on here. I don't have any hockey moms on here. But if you were a hockey mom, you can make a whole page that's dedicated. You're a hockey mom? You can make a whole page. Okay, then I'll get you in a second. You can make a whole page about the hockey league, the season, whatever you want it to be. And then you're just directing everybody from that league to that page, and they're coming to your website. When I was selling, I had a whole page about what to do in Tremont and my favorite things and my favorite restaurants and my favorite like outings and things like that. So if you specialize in a neighborhood, you can have one of these custom pages that are all about that. If you're super involved in the PTA, use the PTA and make a page about the PTA. So, you know, it's not just about what's going on right now. These custom pages are really valuable. Sarah, what was your question?
So the one thing about this that I would love to change, and I don't know if it's possible, is right now, when you add the page, it's under that drop-down menu that says My Pages.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to kind of hunt around. It's not on the actual bar across the top that you're just like clicking a tab. So I don't know, is there any way to change that?
No, I don't think that there is a way to change that just because of the coding. It is, you know, they're coding one big page and then they're giving us the ability to have all this freedom over on the end. So I don't see how they would be able to change that. You know, I make these pages to share them more than to have somebody stumble across them when they're on my website. And so that's why that doesn't get under my skin, but I don't see how we would be able to make that change. Pat, did you have a question? All right, how about any other
Sorry, just moving, Chris. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't want to keep everybody. The last thing that I was going to just talk about real quick was, because everyone is starting to use the Matterport tours, you know, what can you do with the Matterport tour? Because that's a question that I'm getting quite a bit. So you saw the one thing that I had shared where it was a video screen recording of the Matterport tour. That is certainly a way that you could be doing a virtual open house right now, where you're actually Matterporting through it and talking about the house and recording it. That serves two great purposes, because you're doing a tour of the house, but you're also showing that you have accessibility to a really great piece of technology. So I would say that that is a great option. And then you can upload that, like I showed you, to the MLS or to Howard Hanna, in addition to the Matterport tour link. Or you can be uploading that video to Instagram TV or to Facebook, or you could be going live on either of those with it. The Matterport tour is something that can be embedded into this custom web page. And so it's another place where you can get some visibility out of it. Because I see a lot of people doing the Matterport tour, and now you've got this link and you're like, all right, what do I do with this link? Make sure that you're putting in the broker's remarks that you have a Matterport tour, and you can even put the link in the broker's remarks. And then that way the other agents can be sharing that with clients to do virtual showings as well. So I think that's all I had today. I don't really want to, you know, I say this sentence, I think 5 times a week. I don't want to keep you just to keep you, even though I like seeing everybody's faces. So this is your last chance for any questions. And you want to see anything again? Claire, your resting face is awesome. I want to know if it's me or what's going on around you in your house.
It's quiet time, so I'm sleeping.
So if there aren't any other questions or any requests to review it, I think we will button this up.
Cool. I'm sure I'll have questions after I play with it.
And I will send this recording out to both of the offices, whether or not you attended this. You know, there are some training videos on howardhanna.com for this, underneath website training videos, underneath the education tab. But you know, I'm not quite sure how in depth they go with the custom pages.
Will this be recorded and then we can see this one again, Chris?
It is recorded, yeah. So I will send everybody out the link to it. I'm actually gonna post it on my Howard Hanna Helps YouTube channel, and I'll give you guys the link for that, because it's got some good little videos just on, you know, as people ask me to do things during this time, generally I teach them by doing a screenshot and share of my screen, and then I send them a link to the video. So you might be able to find some other things on there that you might find useful as well. All right.
Thanks for doing this, Chris. We appreciate it.
Oh, my little Korean dumpling. Ted, you are so sweet. I'm Ted's Korean dumpling. All right, you guys, I'll see you later.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chris.